short trip across Italy brings us from Mugello to the Temple of Speed, the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza, the third purpose-built motor racing circuit after both Brooklands and Indianapolis. It's currently the oldest one in Western Europe, still in circulation. And it also hosts the second round out of 8 for the 2025 Sim Racing for Simpletons winter season. Hello everybody, welcome to the JP Broadcasting Network as you join myself, Alex Goldschmidt, and James Parfitt, your guides throughout what will be a wonderful adventure around this just short of 5.8 kilometre circuit, 3.6 miles, 11 turns in total. But we've had one round in the books, and Mugello was definitely one to remember to kick-start the season just a week ago. And what's more, we do have a little bit of housekeeping as to find out who's where and who needs to make a little bit of inroads into this point in the championship season before we head over to our next haunt. So at the moment, it's Adam Merchant, the man who literally blitzed the opposition from lights out to checkered flag, even took pole position. And what's more, the fastest lap of the race. He's currently on 31 points ahead of JT Smeaton, with Carson Keane, who rounded out the overall podium despite dramas across what happened over the 29 laps at Mugello. Tim Perry and Jeff Groff round out the top 5. Gabriel Hopp, Braden Carroll, Frankie Brzezowski, and Christopher Sears round out the top 10, covered by 15 points coming into this second round of the season. Then we've got Jake Katz, Anthony Zitch, Nick Dvornik, Frankie Arvello, Joshua Benjamin, Seth MacFarland, Max Voorhees, Christian Jasper, Eamon Hake, Bryce Benton, Nathan C, Blake Toe, Joel Peguero, Brian Long, Petter Vedding, and Chad Peterson rounding out the drivers that have scored points so far. And more to the point, well, we also have the team standings after the opening round. So some drivers have become what's part of the Simpletons Cup. So at the moment, it's Dirty Mike and the boys leading on 43 points coming into this second round of the season. They're on 7 ahead of FNG Racing, the pairing of Brzezowski and Hopp. Max Altitude round out P3 on 31 points. Go Squadra and Canberra Sim Sports and Halo Tracks Toyota all level on 28 points apiece. Then we go to 7th in the standings with Torta Racing. SR4S on 16 round out the top 8 with Platino Power Sim Racing Team, Rush Hour Racing, and Glee, GLEE, for those wondering about the spelling of it, rounding out the 11 teams that we actually have on the grid. And with that, James Parfitt, are you there, my good friend?
I am, yes, I am here. Looking forward to this one. Should be an exciting one. We saw the little brothers earlier on in the Super Formula lights, and now we're going to see the big brothers as they've just entered into qualifying. So 28 laps of action. I'm looking forward to this. I think it should be a good one. Of course, we've got no sort of purple zone or anything like that. So turn 1, yeah.
We've already had a discussion about that in the green room before we went live, folks, and I went, yeah, turn 1, Variante Rettifilo, could be a bit of a difficult one, but of course this is a 10-minute open qualifying, 4 laps that the drivers have around this circuit to do their level best. And James, with these 2-litre turbocharged Super Formula cars pushing over 500 plus horsepower, plus also having the P2P, the push to pass, we could see speeds in excess of 195, 200 miles an hour, especially with slipstream and side draft.
Yes, we have it all, don't we? And to be fair, the best description that somebody ever gave me of Monza was it has 4 straights and a few little wigglies. And that was it.
A few little wigglies.
Yeah, a few little wigglies and 4 straights. And I think that can literally sum this track up, because it is right. You've got this straight that Tim Perry's on now. We go round the Michele Alboreto the Curva Parabolica, and then we got that long run down into the Rettifilo. So there's going to be opportunities. People are going to play it right. The push to pass is going to be important, and how they're going to manage it, well, we'll find out on that one. Well, let's jump on board with Mr. Perry for an opening run of the lap.
So into the Variante Rettifilo goes the number 83 of Tim Perry, the man from Altitude Esports. Then down to second gear, 40 miles an hour on the apex, and then you start to accelerate. Go up the gears, make sure you don't miss shift or early shift. Into Curva Grande here at turn 3, and then it's the run up to the second of the wigglies we have here at Monza. That's going to be a new term for a chicane, isn't it, James? Now that you've
Yes.
said that. Of course, they've got to mind out for the sausage curbs at certain points, of course, coming out of the second part of Variante della Roggia. Very different in composure. They're literally lining on the runoff area. Into the first of the two Lesmos at 130 plus miles an hour. Into Lesmo 2, lift, brake, slight touch of the brakes, and now accelerate. Down to Saraglio, and then you're pushing over 170 miles an hour under the bridge onto the approach into the triple apex here at Variante Ascari. So 180 miles an hour down to about 110. And now through the final, and there's one of the sausage curbs on the left-hand side. Now accelerate on towards Curva Alboreto, originally known as Curva Parabolica, but also named after the late F1 and prototype driver Michele Alboreto. Now you see pushing about 175 into the final corner, now running the car a little bit wide, still 2 wheels within track limits, and Tim Perry, who was struggling in practice, goes up to P5, 128.923. Gabriel Hopp, the fast Brazilian, goes in with a 128.332. Adam Merchant just a tenth and a half behind. Here's Joel Peguero. He comes across the line and is currently 9th at the moment. So Gabriel Hopp already has the first blow struck towards Adam Merchant, but while considering the fact of Adam's iRating, over 6,200 iRating points, is the highest iRating ranked driver in this, and he's gone purple in sectors 1 and 2. His JT Smeaton that we saw previously in the opening round took second place. Adam Merchant, purple in sector 1, purple in sector 2. He now fires it out of Ascari at 150 miles an hour in top gear. Of course, with qualifying here, James, they don't have the use of the push to pass. So it's basically go out there, use the mechanical and the aerodynamic grip, and hold on for the roller coaster ride.
Yeah, what was scary was I think it was topping out at like 180 plus on this run down into the first little chicane, should we say? Let's call it by its actual name. 83, 84, 85, 86, and 87. No push to pass, no draft. So what are they going to top in the race if that's what we've got coming in already? It's going to be very fast here. They're down to 128.332. Merchant 128.487. So at the moment, Gabriel Hopp is still leading the way. Brian Long is out on the racetrack as well. And he's got green in sectors 1. Still got a couple of times. Carson Keane, Bryce Benton. I'm not sure if Joshua Benjamin Hill, he is out actually on the track as well. So we're going to have full 23 car grid.
And at the moment, well, I'm a bit worried for Carson Keane because his first 2 flying laps have been invalidated by exceeding track limits. Bryce Benton only 50% of the way through the lap, so we'll see how they get on. But Brian Long currently rounding out the top 13, who are covered by a second and a quarter. Brian fires his way at full velocity, full throttle into Alboreto and drops it down into 4th gear. Now carries the momentum. That's one of the good things about that corner, is that you can really swing it out wide, keep 2 wheels within the white lines. And then some drivers might go towards the pit wall side of the straight. Some, like Brian Long we just saw, who's just dropped down into 14th position. Here comes Adam Merchant. He goes across the line, goes top. 128.077. Beats Gabriel Hopp, who's just had an off track by over a quarter of a second. Here's Bryce Benton coming across the line, one of the 2 drivers from Rush Hour Racing. He's currently sitting down in 22nd position. Here comes Tim Perry across the line, and he is now ahead of Gabriel Hopp by 4 1,000ths. That's how close it can be here at Monza, and we are just about 3 minutes away from the checkered here, James. So the spread of the field at the moment from Adam Merchant in 1st position to Nathan C down in 19th. They are covered by a fraction over 1.5 seconds. That's how close qualifying can be here at Monza.
And that makes you wonder, if that's how close qualifying is going to be, what is the race going to be? That's the thing. We've got Smeaton on a purple in the sectors 4. Over the line, green goes top on a 128.019 by 0.05 of a second over Adam Merchant. Merchant again, though, has got some purples and greens on the board on his way down into Parabolica. And around he goes Unfortunately, he's got an orange in that one, no improvements. But depending on what the offset is from the purple and green over the oranges, it could possibly be a pole lap.
It could be. Well, he was fractionally quicker,
It
and
is.
he's returned the favour,
Oh.
and he's the first one to dip under 1 minute 28, 1:27.862. He's now completed his 4 laps in qualifying. So we are fast approaching 2 minutes on the timer left to go. Tim Perry from Altitude Esports currently in P3. Where does he rank in all of this? He does improve on lap time, but does not improve position. He's about 2/10 off of JT Smeaton. Here's Frankie Brzezowski. He comes across the line, goes up into the top 10. Yeah. So nice run there by the number 14, running with FNG Racing, currently second in the Simpleton Cup standings. And here comes Joshua Benjamin across the line, currently P15. And on that one,
Plays where he is.
Well, yeah, and that puts him pretty much on the same interval as Nick Dvornik in the number 58. Here comes JT Smeaton again, looking to go one better. Can he beat Adam Merchant's time of a 27.862? He comes across the line, does not improve. That's his 4 laps. So the front row at the minute are looking exactly as what we saw at round 1. Here's Petter Fedding, the driver from Norway, making his way down to Alboreto, currently running 22nd, 2.5 seconds off the pace. Brian Long's just moved up into 11th, fractionally behind Jeff Groff. But yeah, for Petter, last time out, it wasn't a good running in Mugello. He retired due to a big incident. Early doors in the first half of the race itself does improve, gets the gap down to 2.12 seconds between himself and Adam Merchant. Here is Joshua Benjamin, and he is still running in P15, but he is slowing quite a little bit there. Obviously, Joshua running with Chris Sears and the number 18. They make up the duo that are Torta Racing, currently 7th in the Simpleton Cup standings as we come towards the final few seconds of qualifying. Bryce Benton.
It's not going to get it
Rush
in.
Hour. Yeah, he's not. I'm wondering if the server's going to time out, isn't it?
Yeah, it will time out before he gets there, I think, unfortunately for Bryce. He's only got 3 seconds to get near the line, and he's unfortunately not going to manage that one. So Bryce Benton there, no, down the back end in 23rd place. But I would worry about that. But then I'm also sitting here thinking they've got turn 1. But the grid is on the screen.
Well, for the second round in succession, Adam Merchant puts it on pole position, and it's a repeat of the front row that JT Smeaton from Canberra Sim Sports will be alongside on the front row. Altitude Esports Tim Perry will have FNG Racing's Gabriel Hopp alongside on row 2. Braden Carroll and Frankie Arvello round out row number 3 with Carson Keane and Nodebit ML from the UK and Ireland on row number 4. Frankie Brzezowski and Jeff Groff round out the top 10. Brian Long and Chris Sears round out row 6. Row 7, Joshua Benjamin, Max Voorhees, Blake Toe and Nick Dvornik round out the top 8 rows with Anthony Zich joined by the Scuderia Toro Rosso tribute band that is Eamon Haken, the number 44. Joel Peguero and Nathan C round out the top 20 with Seth McFarland and Petter Vedding completing 22 drivers, 23 completed by Rush Hour Racing's Bryce Benton. So 28 laps of Monza, and everyone's now going to have that push to pass. And that's going to be even more powerful around here combined with that slipstream here at Monza, James, because we're waiting for the drivers to grid up.
Yeah, it's going to definitely top them north of 190 miles an hour. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple that are just touching 200, but seeing how it goes here. But that push to pass is going to be mighty. And if they don't use it down the front stretch, I would be very surprised if they're not using it to defend and attack at the same time.
Well, we're just waiting for the number 66 of Nodebit ML to get onto the grid, and there he is. The drivers are set, ready under starters' orders here for the standing start for round 2 of the 2025 SR4S winter season here at Monza. The 5 red lights start to ignite here at the Temple of Speed. And it's 28 laps. Lights are out. We're underway. And a good start by Adam Merchant. JT Smeaton tries to pull in alongside behind him, but Tim Perry looking to the outside of the 45 as they head towards the Rettifilio. Merchant defends from Smeaton. Through they go into the right and then into the left now. Start to power out of the corner from 40 miles an hour and will accelerate to north of 150 as they hit the right-hander here at turn 3 at Curva Grande. Well, dramas for Chris Sears already. And that's not a good way to start your race here at the Temple of Speed, but there are some battles as Gabriel Hopp trying to go through on Tim Perry into Della Roggia. And if you might remember a particular person from F1, when Alfa Romeo had Antonio Giovinazzi, who was up into the top 6, he got punted at that point on the circuit. But Frankie Brzezowski currently sitting in 7th place ahead of ML in the number 66 with Long, and Arvello rounding out the top 10. Now coming down Seraglio for the first time here on lap 1 of 28. Adam Merchant currently has a lead of 6.5 tenths of a second as they vault their way into Variante Ascari. Be mindful of the sausage curbs placed on 2 of the 3 apexes. And you can see they're going to run a little bit wide. All bit of a kick up of the dust by Tim Perry in the 83 in 3rd place. But at the moment, Adam Merchant starting to control things early, like we saw at Mugello at round 1. And more to the point, well, Chris Sears looks like he's not going... Well, he's been in the pit lane for 24.1 seconds. I think Chris might have retired from the race, but Smeaton on the charge, trying to close in on Merchant, who is pulling away. And once again, as we saw in the previous race, Merchant didn't need to use his P2P until later on.
Yeah, guys, JT hasn't got his out either. There has been some drama at the beginning of the race, and this is what happened to Chris Sears. Ooh.
Oh, he's got hit from behind in the right rear.
That was very, very bizarre.
Now, the big question is, who was the car that hit it?
None of them.
No, it looked like there was a little bit of our friend Mr. Netco that got involved there, to be completely honest with you. But that is a big drama for Torta Racing. That's going to hurt their rankings in the Simpleton's Cup. But in the meantime, JT Smeaton has been getting on with the business at hand. Of course, yes, he's having to use the P2P. They've got 200 seconds of deployment all the way through the race, and we have seen it quite a few times that drivers do run out if they have to use it quite a lot. But Smeaton closing in on Merchant through into Ascari. Look at the amount of commitment. Now, the thing is that these are 2 of the highest ranked iRacing drivers we have on this championship, and Smeaton is closing in. Look at the speed differential between him and Merchant. Merchant's pushing that dirty air through as they go into Alboreto once again to complete lap 2 out of 28. I think Merchant knew that it was going to be a tall order, and Smeaton is proving that in this early stage, but we know how hard Monza can bite back, James.
Yeah, absolutely. North, here we go, 190, still no push to pass from Smeaton now. They're going to go side by side into turn number 1 through the right-hander. Smeaton gives him so much more room. What happened on the exit? Smeaton did make it through. Merchant's down a position. Perry and Hopp almost battling into that one as well. Seth MacFarlane, Nathan C. going at each other with Petter Vending. So nice little bit of action there as well. Ooh, Seth, that's not the way to take that corner, dear sir. You don't want to be running over that bit. But yeah, action packs developing now as well. Front 4 right the way down to Gabriel Hopp, and then Braden Carroll all the way down to Brian Long. And then from Brian Long, you got Mac Voorhees downwards on that as well. It looks like, oh, yes, we are going facing the wrong way. Never good.
No, that was one of the drivers from Glee. Of course, he's partnered with Chad Peterson, but here we're going to see a replay. I think he's just going to lose it all on his own, isn't he? Yeah. Into the over-rotates, bang, and luckily enough, he stays out of harm's way. Ends up a little bit in the kitty litter, but what have you seen now? Oh, Petter Vedding.
Yeah, I don't know what he's done before that. Looks like he's done it before then as well.
So that would have been into Della Roggia heading into the first of the 2 Lesmos. So let's see. He's got a car behind. Oh, he's going to try something, isn't he? Let's just see. Oh, well, he got a hit by one of the...
it's broke.
Yeah, that was from... It was either from Bryce Benton or Nathan C.
Oh, look at his right rear. Done.
That's not rotating at all. So the drive shaft completely knackered. Meantime, Max Voorhees has got Jeff Groff to his inside on the run through into Curva Grande, and well, this could put Jeff Groff to the outside into Della Roggia coming up, and he's going to be very, very careful. And Voorhees tries to go wheel to wheel. Oh, and they bump, and into the barriers goes Max Voorhees. That was always going to happen.
Yeah. I'm not really sure what was expected.
Well, I think the thing from my
it's hard because if you look at the run here, the inside line did bounce off the curb and go further up than he possibly needed to on that one. Tim Perry has also been off the track as well. Now, whether or not it doesn't look too dramatic. Oh no, maybe that's what he's just picked up on. That he's gone off the circuit on that. We're going to be careful a little bit of that. Voorhees back in the pit lane. Smeaton still leading Merchant. Merchant now tucked in behind him. Again, should be, I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to swap lap after lap, but Merchant looks a little bit too far back at the moment. Tim Perry looks closer to Merchant than Merchant does to Smeaton, so maybe Smeaton's getting on a bit here and giving him a little bit of a run for his money. But Voorhees is in pit lane. Redding is still in pit lane, and Chris of course is out, and Chris has also confirmed what we suspected.
Netcode.
Massive.
But here goes Adam Merchant with a send and a half through into Della Roggia to retake the race lead here, nearly 50% of the way through lap number 5 out of 28. So yeah, I think you're probably right in what you were saying, but the key point that we have to remind people of is that we can see what their push to pass is doing, and Adam Merchant on pure pace has not used his. He has used it a little bit, but I think there's several drivers that haven't. I mean, Adam Merchant hasn't, according to what I see on on our live timing. Carson Keane, Nadobi ML hasn't, neither has Nick Dwornik, neither has Joel Peguero. So a lot of drivers haven't yet used their push to pass because they're finding it easier just to slipstream, and this is exactly what we're seeing with JT Smeaton, who last time round put in the fastest lap of the race at 29.303. So the slipstream is being even more effective than sometimes folks using the push to pass here at Monza. Yeah,
it's closing him in. You can see he's 2 tenths back and he's absolutely flying, and he's going to go again. Where's Merchant going to put the car? Smeaton's looking up the inside once more. Is he going to be able to make this work? They're going to try this too wide. Smeaton's got to come out on the outside. He's got to be big and brave. He does. And now he's got the run over Merchant. Perry sat in there all the time. They're fighting. He's closing. So Perry's coming in at the same time here. There could be a free wide opportunity. Merchant looks like he's going to take him back again, and he has done. And now Smeaton's got to look at trying to get the exit again. No, got to slide. Coming out, unfortunately for him. And now Merchant manages to hold on. But these three, they're going to be at this for a while. Frankie Arvello is battling away with Emil. And they're going to continue their fight through the second Lesmo as well. So, yeah, this could be really, really interesting. Oh, it's a Ferrari Liverpool. Oh,
that's ML.
My new best friend. Look at that.
That
God,
is
son.
Awesome. And it's also got the 75 on the back of there, I think probably to represent the 75 years of Formula One, which is this season, funnily enough, folks. But I also do like the livery here on the Platino Power Sim Racing Team entry of Frankie Arvello, the 28. You know, nice bit of exposed carbon, and then you've got the bright radioactive Chernobyl yellow there.
Chernobyl.
Yeah, radioactive. It's probably radioactive. We just don't even know it, but you can't miss it. And now he's got the slipstream into Rettifilio. They go, and Arvello gets side draft as well as slipstream, and he's pulled ahead by quite a considerable margin, 6 tenths ahead of Debit ML in the wonderful Ferrari livery there, and he's also put some of the right sponsors on there as well. Good man. I like that when there is that nice little attention to detail. But ML just closing in on Arvello once again, heading into Della Roggia. Oh, now on the outside goes JT Smeaton on Adam Merchant. Who saw that coming?
Yeah, Smeaton managed to get through there. There was a swap going into turn 1, and there was a swap on the way round Curva Bassano. And Smeaton come out. You saw how close they were going through the second Variante, and now Perry's kind of sat in a really awkward position at this moment in time because does he, doesn't he, does he want to, does he not? He's really got to decide on what he's going to do and where is he going to go. Is he going to get involved with this? I can't answer that question. It really is Tim Perry's decision, but he isn't stupid in any way. You know, I've seen Tim drive in multiple series. He's sensible. He's got his head screwed on. He knows what he's doing. And at the moment, the only problem they've got is Hop's coming with them. So is Carroll. So is Keane starting to close up. And all the while they're doing that, Smeaton and Merchant are just doing this.
Yeah, but that's also bringing, you know, Tim Perry, as you rightly said, he runs in a multitude of different other categories in other championships, and now they're wheel to wheel, Smeaton versus Merchant, and Smeaton gets the drive off the corner, Merchant still keeping it pinned to the inside, and Perry's going with him through into Cover Grande. This could nearly be a three-wide moment. Tim Perry, is he going to dive to the outside? He tries, but Smeaton covers him off. Could it be 3-1 into Della Roggia? No, you're going to have more chance than a month of Sundays of Sunday roast dinners in a row. And now Perry showing his nose to Smeaton. Merchant back into the lead into the first Lesmo. Hop is now with them. Carroll now with them. Oh, bit wide there coming out of Lesmo number 1 by Tim Perry. Braden Carroll now in this. Carson Keane makes it 6 drivers contesting for the race lead as we are closing in on 8 laps of this fantastic circuit, the Temple of Speed here at Monza for round 2 of the 2025 SR4S winter season. It truly has come alive.
Yeah, it definitely has. But one of the things that has also come alive is our Ferrari. Where has he gone? What has he done? Unfortunately for the Ferrari, he's done something on the exit.
He's powered down too hard and spun the car around.
The only good thing is he got missed. That was probably the best thing about it. Merchant's now opened up a little, I'd say little bit. This is going to evaporate quicker than water in a sauna, to be blatantly honest with you. It's just, I don't even know why I'm talking about a gap. It's come down to literally less than a tenth already. But they're going to be in this same position. Now it's coming out of here that Smeaton's now got a decision to make. Perry's now got a decision to make. Keane's on the back. They're all in a draft scenario. So currently at the moment, Keane, in a weird way, is probably in the best position because if he wants to use his push to pass to move himself forward, he can to close in and maybe get past Carroll, but then he'll be saved. Wow, big spit of dust from Hop there. And then he'll be saved by the draft in the next one because he would have gained one and put himself a little bit further up. And he would get front and back, and then he would get pulled forward and not lose time. If anybody is following, that's, you know, fair play to you, because without crayons on a picture bit of paper, I probably could have made it clearer than what I've just spoke, to be honest. But do you get what I mean? If Keane did want to use his PTP now, he can, and he'll still be in a good position because he'll get the pull from the guys in front of him.
Well, we've already had 3 retirees. Chris Sears with the biggest ever nut coders experience. Peter Fedding also out with damage to the right rear. Bryce Benton from Rush Hour Racing. Thanks to Cash Karting saying, what happened to Benton? Well, we don't know. He was in the pits for nearly 70 seconds. Well, here is a replay, and this is out of a Ascari.
Oh, bro. This is a lucky I'm in sim moment. If that was IRL, well, his feet would be sticking out the front of that, and that would have been absolutely horrendous.
So, yeah, Bryce Benton out lap 5. Peter Fedding lap 3. Chris Sears didn't even get to turn 1 on lap 1. But Adam Merchant, who continues to lead the way, now takes back the fastest lap. And at the moment, he's currently still leading the series at the moment at this 1/4 of the Sim Racing for Simpletons 2025 winter season. Right on board with JT Smeaton, who has been passed by Altitude Esports, number 83 of Tim Perry. We go through the first of the 2 Lesmos, about 130 miles an hour. Tim Perry kicks up the gravel on the outskirts of those first 2 Lesmos on the circuit, and it was by the left rear. So you can just see that Merchant is starting to build a gap. And now he's got clear air. Merchant doesn't need to worry because he can just start pushing. And you can see how close the likes that Smeaton, Merchant and Perry are getting closer and closer.
I thought Perry might have been on the push to pass. Sorry, I'm going to dive in a minute there.
You're right, he is.
I thought he might have been, and he didn't. So I'm wondering when he is going to be. because I don't know currently at this moment in time, is he flashing? No, he's not flashing, so he has got it to hand here, Tim Perry, if he wants to close the gap, but he's kind of relying on the draft. The problem is he's just done his fastest lap at a 28.8, but he also passed Smeaton, so it'd be interesting to see now what Perry can do for a lap without pressure in and around him. If he can close on Merchant purely on draft and speed, great. But if he needs that push to pass for Tim Perry, I would really look at using it, because you don't want to get Merchant outside of that second gap. You really want to keep him as close as you can below that. Oh, nope.
Tim, that's not what you wanted to do. And look how dirty the tyres got going into the first of the two Lesmos. So a lot of dust was kicked up, possibly by Merchant there. And you can just see how hard Tim is pushing in the number 83 car.
There we go.
Yep. And he's having to use it. He's having to use it. He's deploying it. 170 seconds left on the then underneath, and he's still got it planted here in Ascari. I hate to think what the apex speeds would have been for Tim at that point, but he's pushing on it like crazy. He's now used probably about 20 seconds. Yeah. 25 seconds going into Alboreto. He's still got it on. He is absolutely exhausting it at the moment, because before he knows it, when he gets to Rettifilio and he puts the brakes on, that's going to be less than 125 seconds, I would have thought, possibly. You can just see it counting down, and he's 134 he's got left to deploy. Now Adam has started to deploy it, knowing that he will have seen, he would have probably used he probably would have noticed that Tim would have been on the P2P, and then he's gone, right, I'm going to counter that. So we're not even half distance, and Adam Merchant at Monza has had to use it before the halfway point, and now it's starting to flash because it's waiting for the deployment phase to re-engage.
Yeah, it's just charging again, or resetting, or however you want to call it. It's doing that. It ain't ready. They can't use it again for this lap. He's got to wait for it to be ready. But you notice now, the problem is if we keep an eye, I'm going to just jump on board with something here with Merchant. Now this is where he's either going to prove me right or prove me wrong here. When he goes in to this set here, left, smooth, right, smooth, left, smooth. When he comes out, his throttle deployment is also smooth at the same time. Perry is having to work the wheel quite hard, and over that last lap he made 3 mistakes where the back end slipped out on him, hence we've got a gap of 1.5. Hence he was desperate for the push to pass because he knew he had to be. But the problem was he'd made the mistakes already. There was nothing he could have done. He made the mistake, and 3 mistakes, and this is where we've ended up. 1.4 seconds gap, and Smeaton closing in. Will Smeaton make the move? I don't think so. I think he's going to give Perry the opportunity to try and recover. The problem is every time, there you go, light little turn to the right again as that back end's getting a little bit loose. Perry cannot afford to keep doing that, because that gap will grow, and Smeaton will just get frustrated and bored in the end and just say, look, I've got to go here because you're just sliding coming out of corners. Let's see how he does on the exit here as well. Applies it. Nice. That was quite smooth from Perry there. Keeps the gap at 1.5, but he's got to be a little bit more gentle on the throttle. He seems to be a little bit overzealous at the moment.
Yeah, his progressions are probably a bit too stab at it and hope it sticks, and that's why the car's getting a little bit slidey. As you said, he was getting very aggressive on the steering wheel, but without that progressive application of the throttle, is like, say, halfway to 2/3 through the corner, when you know that the car is stable, is when you can push that throttle down. Before then, as we've seen with a couple of drivers here tonight, that they've gone, like we saw with Nadibi Amal and the Scuderia Ferrari tribute band here at the Tifosi's home ground, coming out of Rettifilio. Just put the power onto early, spun the back axle around, and there she goes and rotates. And now, here we go, Tim has deployed over half of his push to pass and has just done a 28.840. Adam Merchant has just done a 28.795. JT is a little bit further behind because of Tim just using that little bit of deployment of the P2P.
There you go again.
And there we go again. Like, it's that throttle. It's like he's thinking, I can push it. Yeah, I'll be able to do it as a get out of the corner. yeah, when you get out of the corner is when the car's straight. That's the best time to just whack that throttle, but do it progressively. It's as you come out of the corner, you want to be light, 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 and then start to progress to half, three-quarter throttle, and then be fully down to the floor.
Yep.
And you know that as well, James. That when you want to get through a corner, you've got to use momentum, and that's very much key here at Monza. Momentum makes the lap time work. Plus, also, especially coming out of the Rettifilio, you're going from 190 miles an hour to 40. That's 150 miles an hour of speed you are scrubbing off whilst turning left, whilst turning right, turning left, and then accelerating and going up the gearbox. As Gabriel Hopp again takes a little trip through the kitty litter coming out of the final part of Ascari, as Smeaton is now, I think, sizing up Tim Perry for that move coming out of Alboreto and onto the start-finish straight. So will he engage the P2P? Well, we haven't seen it deployed yet, but that slipstream coming into significant effect now. Less than 0.3 of a second, make it 2.5. And if he was a little bit closer, well, he's going to try for it. He's going to look to the inside. Braden Carroll gets through on the outside of Gabriel Hopp, and JT Smeaton through on Tim Perry.
Yeah.
It was only a case of not if, it was a case of when, and just no P2P. Use good old slipstream, and that's your best friend here at Monza. The P2P can be useful, but only in certain circumstances.
Yeah, Perry's trying to come back at him now. This is where I would not come back at Smeaton. I would let Smeaton go. Not go and get out of range, but I would let him go and let him try and chase him. Hopper's lost a place to go. Carson Keane, not a good couple of corners for Hop at all here. He got overtaken on the run down into turn number 1 by Braden Carroll, who's just been done again on the exit by Carson Keane. And Keane is now up into 6th place. Hop, however, is tucked in right behind him. There is 2 cars there, I promise, and a silver one and a black one. So for Hop now, he's now got to try and get Carson Keane back and go back after Braden Carroll, because he lost both of them positions. Joshua Benjamin and Brian Long, they're in the background, just as you can see there, the green and white and the blue. Hop trying to move Keane out the way. It's not NASCAR, mate. You can't give him an elbow and hope for the best, because he ain't going to go anywhere. And Benjamin is closing right in on Long. So this is where, for me, this is the pivotal part of this race now. They've got 12 laps to go. If these two up here want to close in on Merchant, they've got to get it. They've got to work together and get this right. You know, if you get to the 2 laps or 3 laps to go and you're still 2.5 seconds back, go for it. Put the gloves on and punch the lights out of each other. That's, go for it on track. But if you're still only 2.4 and you can get it down a little bit further, that would be ideal. The problem is, at the moment, when you come from Merchant back, he's pulled out time on all laps, all 5 laps.
Yep, exactly. And also, the big worrying thing for Tim Perry is that both him and Jeff Groff are the ones that could exhaust their P2P quicker than anybody else. Now, bearing in mind, they have got under 100 seconds, probably about 90, 92 seconds left of P2P left to go. But as you rightly said, it's now down to JT Smeaton to try and see if he can close that gap. And stranger things have happened here at Monza.
Ooh.
Someone's kicked up the dust coming out of Della Roggia, and I think it might be, and it's Frankie Brzezowski. Oh, over the sausage curb, vaults it, bang.
Laters. Oh, no.
And he...
What?
But, well, he did actually end up going into pit lane. He crawled that car around to pit lane, and,
Sure, the wheel
bang,
comes off.
Yeah, left rear. And the wing.
And comes back on.
Oh, thank you, iRacing.
It's very bizarre. But there we go for Frankie Brzezowski. Where is he at the moment? He is on his way
19th.
out. Yeah, he went in the pits, come back out again. Hop and Keane swapping places. Keane ran the outside, does manage to get the job done over Gabriel Hop. You see Hop had a delayed turn in then, couldn't turn in. Keane was in the inside. Pablo Uribe's in YouTube chat. Go, boys. Yo, welcome in. Thank you so much for that one. Cash Cartin as well, and El Dominica. What is this net code?
Kristen Frankie. Yeah, we understand completely. Lax for Life's 0607. But, yeah, this is a great battle. I mean, Carson Keane, who we've known has been a part of SR4S for quite a lot of time, has come in, dipped out, and obviously we spoke to him in the post-race show last week that he is pending circumstances in day-to-day life, that he will be around for the full season, which is a good thing to hear. Currently third in the championship standings, but looking to see if he can, well, I mean, he's got about 1.8 seconds to close in on Braden Carroll, one of the drivers from Valley Motorsports. Of course, Valley Motorsports drivers not competing in the Simpletons Cup by the information that I've received. But here is Gabriel Hopp from FNG Racing, who currently are second in the standings for the Simpletons Cup. Yeah, you can just see going through Alboreto, he uses the inside curb, which pushes the car to the outside, but then loses a bit of momentum in comparison with Carson Keane. But, well, the gap now between Adam Merchant, it could be all she wrote, James, because the gap between him and JT Smeaton has now expanded to the best part of, at its highest, 3.6.
Do you know what? Yes, you are right. It's out of 3.2. I can't actually see them getting very close. Gabriel Hopp just confused the living daylights out of me. I've never seen a car. Oh, is he going to get him now, though? He might do. I'll go back to my point in a minute, but he's going to try too wide here. Yeah. Both of them made it through. There was a little bit of a wheel bang. Oh, Perry's off. Did he come back on straight after that? I think he spat the dust up on the outside. He did, and back on not long after that. The thing with Gabriel Hopp is, in that last lap, in that last corner, he sat behind him and then jigged to the inside line, right? The problem with jigging to the inside line, he put himself offline going into the parabolica, which I didn't really understand, because then he didn't catch him going down into turn number 1 because of that weird little movement. I don't know if he was swatting a fly in the sim or scratching his eyeballs or whatever. He must have done something, because he jinked in as if he was going to go, then tried to come back behind him, then lost a chunk of time and didn't get him down into turn 1. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, why jink? And as I say, unless he was swatting a fly or scratching his head, or I don't really know, but it was very, very bizarre, because then he didn't make time. But where now, when he sits in behind him, he's got time and he can make that move down into 1, because he's going to be alongside. If he can complete it on the exit. Oy. No. And in that, Carson Keane lost a nose cone.
Yep.
Believe it or not.
Yeah, so Hopp sends it to the inside into Rettifilio. Carson turns in. Oh, Gabriel actually started spinning around because he walloped the curb on the right-hander, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. That was Brian Long. What did you do all on your own? This is going to be interesting.
Oh, dear. I hate to think.
Oh, he's straight on.
He's done an Nico Hulkenberg there.
Yeah, he should have just said Vettel'd it. Take the ball out.
No, it would have been even worse if he'd done an Ericsson.
Don't even go around it. Just smash through him. That would have been fine. Keane's still in a fight here. He's now got Frankie Arvello behind him. Smeaton's still got Perry, and the gap's still increasing out of 3.9. So there's going to come a moment in the last 4 or 5 laps that these guys are going to give this up, and then they're start going hammer and tongs. Arvello and Keane side by side. Keane's going to slot in behind. The thing is with Carson Keane is, if he's not quick or quicker, he won't, I'm not going to say put an effort in, but he won't go out swinging. You know what I mean? There's no point. If he knows he's going to get overtaken, he'll be really sensible about it. And then he'll come back at him again. So I'm not surprised that Keane didn't really fight with Arvello. I think Keane's probably sitting there going, oh, well, there you go. He got the position back anyway. Arvello just said,
Frankie.
Didn't want to do it. Thank you very much. But, yeah.
What can you say? Well, Jeff Groff, in the meantime, a previous SR4S champion in his own right, is now up to 7th place, which will effectively net him 18 points. And, well, it's been quite interesting in this race that, you know, in the first half of it, we were really seeing a lot of battles up and down the order. And then at one point, we had the top 6 literally within 2.5 seconds of each other. And the way things are working out at the moment, thank God for Excel spreadsheets at this time in the morning here in the United Kingdom. If things stay as they are, Adam Merchant will have a 8-point lead going into the next round of the Winter Series season, which is yours and my favourite racetrack, Interlagos in Brazil, is next up in a week's time. Merchant will be on 62. Smeaton will be on 54. Tim Perry will move up to third in the standings on 47. Braden Carroll could move up behind Carson Key. Now, obviously, Carson is running... Where is he running? He's currently running P5 at the minute, which nets him a cool 20 points. So Carlson's still able to keep in the fight. We're going to have a replay here. Blake Toe, our man for the number 53 BMW Motorsport. Oh, he's done it again at De La Roggia.
That's twice in a row.
Yeah. I mean, I have to give Blake credit where credit is due, but this is what we saw earlier on in the moment between Gabriel Hopp and also Carson Keane. So, yeah, it was just the fact that the car was already spinning. So, in some respects, I would class that more of a racing incident, that Gabriel went in, over-rotated, and it just caught Carson out, and Carson had nowhere to go. Joshua Benjamin coming out of Lesmo #1.
What's this? I'm going to guess here. Going in the wall. He's done something. Joe, what did... Actually, sorry. This is what I wanted. And Joe Bequero. Yeah.
For the Planetary team, yeah.
He's done something going down into turn 1 here. And if he ain't going to get it on the way in... Oh, he did. Yeah, he did.
Brown whilst locking up under the brakes.
Oh, man. Max Voorhees is not having a good one.
No.
It's going to be the same kind of scenario. Ooh. Ow. Ow. Ow.
If that was in real life, his coccyx would be bruised by now.
He would have severe backache. Let's put it this way.
And bruising buttocks.
Yes. Unfortunately, as my dad used to say, you won't be able to sit down for a week, but I think that might have been a different scenario.
We're not going to go there on that one. Not this time in the morning.
No.
Moving on swiftly, however, battle between Smeaton and Perry has started to intensify once again. We're now currently on lap 22 out of 28. So after this, it'll be 6 to go until the checkered. And, well, Adam Merchant doing exactly what he does best. Starts out taking pole position. And some really good battling between him and JT Smeaton, I have to admit. It sets a precursor for the rest of the season. Obviously, round 3 next time up will be Interlagos, the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache, in just 7 days' time. Of course, for the Sim Racing for Simpletons 2025 winter season, it's an 8-round calendar. Best 7 out of 8 scores will be counted towards the points for both the drivers' standings and also the Simpletons Cup for our respective drivers that have decided to clump together and end up as 2-car teams. But Tim Perry still trying to do what he can to close that gap on JT Smeaton. And as we go across the line to start lap number 23 of this race for these 2 drivers, well, let's just see if Tim Perry can close in on JT Smeaton. Has to back out of it, lifts off, then goes onto the brakes into Rettifilio, and he's going to wait for his next opportunity to see what he can do. But I think also Tim has been a little bit more conservative on the push to pass. A lot of drivers are now being a bit more conservative because at Monza, the slipstream is your friend, but if you can add that with a little bit of push to pass towards the end of the race, that could be a bit more in your favour. But JT Smeaton has a lot more deployment at hand.
Yeah, just trying to keep an eye on Tim's wheel. Don't get me wrong, he is working it, but he ain't working it half as much as when he was trying to chase. Ooh, Merchant there. I think when we look at defining moments, I think the defining moment here would have been the moment where Perry got in front of Smeaton. And then he was trying to overwork the car, trying to catch the Merchant, and then he pushed the pass literally from Lesmo 1 right up through into Cava Parabolica, right the way down into turn 1 as well. And he was trying to really push that car. Problem is when he got into Ascari, he applied the throttle, the back end decided it was going to give it a little wiggle, and he lost more time. Then he went into Varianti, the second one, and then he did the same thing again. And then by that point, Merchant's now 2 seconds in front. We can tell a story in a book, and I can write you a picture book, but the picture book will just say at the moment that Tim Perry got past Smeaton is the moment that Merchant went ahead, because no disrespect to Perry, he'd made too many mistakes at that point after, and it just pushed them guys back and back from this scenario. But that's racing, and I'm sure Tim will come back and realise what that was the issue, and he'll look at improving it going into Interlagos.
Well, good battle here between Carson Keane and Joshua Benjamin. Now, Joshua seems
Oh,
to be doing a pretty good job. Oh, what happened there with Carson?
game over. He slid coming out the exit. He slid coming out the exit. Yep. Zitch has done something going down into turn 1 as well. Seems to be a regular place. It's either going to be on the way in. Oh, no, he's coming out, and the rear is coming round. There we go.
Oh, he just caught it, and that was in front of Nathan C as well, who is the sole surviving Rush Hour racing car. Obviously, Bryce Benton having that massive moment coming out of Variante Ascari and ending up exit stage right, nose first into the barriers. And that's a pretty good haul of points there for the Rush Hour racing crew. But Joshua Benjamin teaming up with Chris Sears at Torta Racing. Well, Joshua at the moment is one of the, well, with him, we've got Nick Dwornik, started 16th on the grid, now currently running P9. Nathan C, the biggest mover of the night so far. 9 places gained from 20th on the grid, the 818s for Rush Hour Racing in that Hello Kitty livery. Now up to 11th place, so 1 position away from the top 10. He's closing in on Brian Long. Nadebia ML in number 66. We're going to see a problem for our Ferrari tribute band driver in Della Roggia, and he's lost it going through into the first right.
Yeah. Get it round, mate. This car's coming. Oh. Well, not like that, though. Steady, steady. There we go. He's on his way. For ML, he's chasing that. Well, he was chasing down Joel Piquero, and unfortunately that battle's petered out and is done and dusted. Dwornik, however, has got Brian Long still in behind. Long on the push to pass. You see it frantically flashing in the background, and he's going after Dwornik to see if he can get him. Oh, Long has got not a lot left. 10. No.
Oh, Brian, you still got this plus 3 laps to go, buddy. Now he's exhausted it.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
See you later.
Brian Long is the first driver in the race here at Monza to completely use his P2P. So all 200 seconds have been deployed. Adam Merchant starting to look a little bit low. He's starting to use it now, just to expand that gap, just for the sheer hell of it. The gap's now 5.3 between him and JT Smeaton. And there is Adam Merchant as the 40 seconds remaining. Okay, so still got a fair whack. Yeah, still on it. He's going to exhaust it as much as he can, I think. And that's the interesting thing about these Super Formula cars, that you can still be in the braking zone as Brian Long trying to go side by side with Nick Dwornik, and this is the run into Alboreto. Brian is alongside, and no P2P, gets through with slipstream and side draft through Ascari, but he's got to be careful because Dwornik has got pushed to pass, and that halo on the airbox is still on green. So he's not deploying it yet. He's now going to return the favour into Rettifilio, is he? He's going to be towards the outside and decides to be the first one to chicken out and put on the brakes and decide, I'm not going to go for that move because that could have taken both of us out and promoted Nathan C, more than likely, up to 9th.
Yep. I think for Dwornik there, probably made the right choice. Emil's out. What did you do? You killed a Ferrari.
Oh, don't tell me it's Della Roggia again. Yeah,
but
okay.
I'm wondering if this is this not... No, yeah, because he's going to go left now. Is the car going to come in the left-hand corner? Oh, so it is the same one. Then he entered into the pit lane, and then, well, that didn't come back out, unfortunately, for the Ferrari.
Oh dear, that's a real shame. He'd done really, really well. He qualified in 8th place, so the outside of row number 4. JT Smeaton, however, has taken the fastest lap away from Adam Merchant and has still got quite a bit of push to pass, and he's deploying it. He's deploying it now. So we've got the 2 laps.
Smeaton's got loads.
He has literally been waiting for this opportunity to deploy it as quickly as possible. So we're going to be into Della Roggia now. The gap now is 4.5 seconds. Smeaton still has got the P2P button activated, so he's going to try and close that gap down as much as possible. Gap now under 4.4 seconds into the first of the 2 Lesmos, now into Lesmo number 2 before he starts putting the pedal to the metal. 110 seconds. That is the equivalent of... That's 1 minute 50 seconds, make that 1 minute 40 seconds, effectively a full lap of Monza in terms of time is what the deployment he's got left. We'll make that now 93, 92. It's more effective on the straights, but he's just using it like we saw with Tim Perry earlier on. Tim was just using it completely, like so much there.
He might as well. He might as well. He's got 1 lap to go. What's said? He might as well use it. I'm surprised he's waited. To be blatantly honest, I am surprised he's waited so long to do this. If anybody's got any push to pass, you should have been running out, going over the line for the final lap. In hindsight, there's a few other drivers that have. Velo's out, Long's out, Merchant's out. So the only good thing for Smeaton is he's got Merchant out, and he's still got 50 seconds left. So he's practically got another lap to go. Still on it. He ain't going to close the 4.1, but you left it very late.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe I'm a pessimist in this sort of scenario, but 3.7.
If he was 2 seconds behind, I could understand it. He really would be in with a chance, maybe even less than that. But yeah, 1:28.054 was the fastest lap as our leaders now make their way down towards Ascari for the final time. It is going to be 2 wins out of 2 and a maximum score of 62 points for the man who's going to lead us going into Interlagos, which will be Gabriel Hopp's home turf in 7 days' time. Through Ascari, we ride on board, and JT Smeaton now is effectively completely deployed. His push to pass, but we concentrate on the man of the moment, who again has dominated proceedings from pole position in time qualifying from lights out to checkered flag. It's 2 for 2. Adam Merchant takes the win in the Italian doubleheader to lead heading into our jaunt to South America next week with a maximum score. Adam Merchant wins here at Monza. JT Smeaton again takes a second place. Tim Perry takes the fastest lap of the race. Where did that one come from? He still kept a hold of his deployment and put in a 1:27.493. Unfortunately, no points on the board there for Tim for a fastest lap. We have got Braden Carroll and Joshua Benjamin. What a run by Joshua Benjamin. 8 places from 13th on the grid to finish P5. Carson Keane will take 6th. Jeff Groff 7th. Frankie Arvello takes 8th. Brian Long, who is being closed in on by Nick Dvornik, who's coming to the end of his push to pass. But Brian Long will take 9th. Nick Dvornik 10th. Blake Toe finishes in 16th. As we're going to have 17 runners and riders making it to the checkered flag, rounded out by Max Voorhees in the number 34. Still got Seth MacFarland and Eamon Hake to come across the line very shortly. They will. So
there's Max.
Eamon in the Toro Rosso tribute livery band comes across the line. The Ohio native in the number 44 will take 15th, and that I think that was ML possibly. That was the last one. It was across the line, but more to the point, well, there is Eamon Hake across the line in 15th place. But, well, what can you say about that, James? What a race we had. Adam Merchant takes it, maximum score on the books heading into Interlagos next week. JT Smeaton keeping him very, very honest. The points differential is just 8 going into the next round of the season, at round 3 out of 8. And, well, congratulations, Tim Perry. 3rd place, and the Altitude Esports driver puts himself provisionally 3rd in the championship standings after a quarter of the season has been completed. Braden Carroll takes 4th ahead of Joshua Benjamin from Torta Racing in the number 78, having done a great job moving 8 places up the order. Biggest mover of the night ahead of Jeff Groff, Frankie Arvello, Brian Long and Nick Dvornik rounding out the top 10. Anthony Zitch takes 11th ahead of Joel Peguero. Then I've got also a slight change on the race results in comparison with the live timing. Looks like Seth MacFarlane and Eamon Hake have gone ahead of Nathan C, who ends up...
Do you know what that was? Sorry to dive in. Nathan dived in pit lane.
Okay, that would be completely understandable, and that was with a lap to go. But...
Okay. So I think
he got damage. He got damage.
Yeah, and then
I was just going to say, we've got Hello Kitty. Oh, we got Hello Kitty, and is that a Minion race helmet he's got in that cockpit?
Yeah.
Oh my God, 2 abstract comic cartoon characters that you would never see in a combination like that. Minion race helmet and Hello Kitty livery. My God, fathers. But yeah.
I think he's going to go in here, but I don't know if this was part of a penalty scenario. Oh, all right. Thank you very much for that. Part of a penalty scenario that he had to go in, but then got a penalty for not taking off the penalty, if that makes sense. 40 seconds, I think, will be added to his time anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Blake Toe, Max Voorhees, our wonderful sole Ferrari driver of the evening, privateer Nadibi ML. Gabriel Hopp finishing down in 19th, ending up 10 laps away from the checkers, so a retirement for Gabriel. Frankie Brzezowski, 13 laps down. Bryce Benton, Peter Vedding, and, biggest net code of the season so far.
Yep.
Ever, of Chris Sears. So, but, all in all, James, I was waiting for Monza to really bring in that fiery intensity where we see 4, 5, 6 cars, and we got it, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, albeit a few laps, but we definitely did get it. Let's bring Mr. Tim Perry in. We'll start 3, 2, 1, and Tim joins us now.
Hello, Tim. Welcome to the post-race show, and welcome to the podium for the first time this season. Well done, buddy, and more to the point, fastest lap.
Yeah, that last lap was pretty insane, actually. I was on full overtake the whole time, but it's a little bit not enough at the end there to catch up. But it was, oh man, what a race. That was awesome.
Some good battling between, we saw you in the early stages behind Adam and JT, because they were battling tooth and nail, and you were really trying to get your nose stuck into that one. But we saw that the car was being a little bit tail happy when you were trying to get out the corners at some points.
Yeah, at the start, I was just, because we had a little gap back to Hop, so I was like, oh, come on, settle down, guys, settle down. Let's just get away. But they were just battling. So in the end, I was like, all right, fine, I'll join in as well. Why not? So then I managed to get myself into second. But yeah, I was really struggling out of the first chicane. I just could not get the power down compared to the others. I think everywhere else I was kind of matching them. But Adam was just that bit better out of turn one, and he managed to break the toe there, really. So that was, just that one corner really did for me this race, I think.
But also with this result, it provisionally puts you up into, by my calculations, third in the standings. So, first of all, it was I think it was a fourth place finish last time out Mugello a week ago, and now to get into the podium, of course, there's those other 2 steps to attain, isn't there?
Yeah, but it's a really long season, and with only one drop round, it's just, you've got to be consistent and got to get the car to the end. On raw pace, Adam's clearly the fastest driver here, but you never know what will happen. These cars, one tiny, you switch off for half a second and you're in the wall, and that could happen to anyone, even him. And obviously, with the battling going on today, I was like, well, if JT and Adam take themselves out, then I'm in perfect position, and I might get the chance to do that again. So, that's going to be my, I've got to play the long game, really.
Yeah, next week we go to Interlagos, a circuit that myself and James really do like in terms of its fishbowl amphitheatre, if you will. Do you like Interlagos, and is that a track that you can see yourself really thriving at to bring the fight to JT and Adam?
It's my favourite circuit. I absolutely love it. I'm always quick there in anything I drive. So hopefully it's the same with this car. I'm going to hopefully do as many officials as I can, because absolutely, love driving the track, and we'll see, I guess. But Adam is just next level. Like JT, possibly, but I can't see myself catching Adam. But I guess next week will be the true test, because if I can't catch him there, I won't catch him anywhere.
Brilliant, Tim. Before we let you go, buddy, thanks for talking to us first of all in the post-race show. Anyone you want to give a shout out to? Yeah,
just shout out to Max, my teammate. Me and him were practicing yesterday and did some good data analysis and stuff. So that's always good to do that with him. And thanks to Altitude Esports and our sponsors, SimStickers, 3M, and Mr. Hedge.
You might want to give Max a little bit of a cuddle, Tim. He had a bit of a rough one.
Yeah, it's 2 races in a row now, unfortunately. But third time lucky.
Fair enough, mate.
Brilliant thing. Thanks a lot, Tim. And we'll see you next week in just 7 days' time for round 3 at Interlagos. Well done tonight.
Yep, can't wait.
Big thank you there to Tim Perry. Let's bring in our runner-up, JT Smeaton. JT, again, another second place finish, but you definitely gave Adam something to think about early doors in this race here at Monza, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a little sniff at the first few laps, but he's just too quick, and he definitely pulled away at the end there. But it was a ton of fun, though. I enjoyed battling with him, and the others. It was a ton of fun.
I mean, did you at one point realise that there were 6 cars trying to battle for the race lead in the first half? I mean, we had Adam, we had you, we had Tim, we had Braden. I think Braden Carroll. We had Carson, amongst others. Like seeing 6 cars in a row at Monza is absolutely magical. Were you aware of when you were looking at the deltas on your HUD, as if to say, right, I've got to do something, and I've got to do something now because there are some quick guys behind me.
I'll be honest, I wasn't really paying attention. I was just focusing on the gap to the car ahead. But 6 cars is crazy at such a tight track like this. But it was amazing that we had a clean battle. It was a ton of fun.
But of course, you still need to get one up over on Adam. I mean, he pulled away one by a considerable margin, even though we saw you exhaust your push to pass right up until the last lap of the race. Do you think there's a possibility that you could have a chance at Interlagos in 7 days' time?
I mean, there is a chance. I think the gap at the end of this race was 3 seconds or so. So it's good to see that I'm getting a little closer to him, but it's going to take a bit more to put him down. It's going to be a tough battle, but hopefully we can have a great rest of the season and a good championship battle.
Well, JT, congratulations on the second place finish tonight, keeping Tim at bay. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Thank you, Alex. Big shout out to my family. Thank you for always supporting me when I do these races. And yeah, I can't wait for the rest of the season.
Brilliant. JT Smeaton, our runner-up here tonight at Monza. JT, well done tonight. We'll see you at 7 days' time in Brazil and Interlagos for round 3.
Thank you. See you next week.
Last but by certainly no means least, Adam Merchant. Adam, it's 2 for 2. Pole position, a race victory, a maximum haul of 62 points after the opening 2 rounds. But in the early stages, you didn't have it all your own way, did you? You had JT and you had Tim closing in on your 6.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. That was a really fun one today. I mean, Monza is a slipstream home, so I mean, like, you can't really, if you don't have a 1 second gap, you can't use any pace. So, I mean, there were a bunch of cars fighting for the lead at one point. So my goal there was to back as many people up or bring as many people into the fight for the lead to basically just try and force JT into a battle that he would need to get into. And I got a second ahead and started using my overtake, but it was really fun in that first half of the race.
But I mean, to still now your lead over JT expands because obviously with the point for pole position in qualifying, the maximum score in both races, you've got an 8-point lead. Interlagos, a very different circuit, of course, still very fast-paced. It's the home of Brazilian motorsport. It's a track that is loved by everybody. What are your thoughts ahead of going to that race in just a week's time for round 3?
Oh, it's definitely one of my favorite tracks as well. I absolutely love that place. Would love to go visit there, being in Texas, not too far for an F1 race. But I haven't traveled outside the U.S. for any race. But super excited for every turn of that track, and the slipstream on the start finish is going to be pretty strong. So hopefully some good overtakes as well.
Brilliant. Well, Adam, congratulations on the double victory. Once at Mugello, once at Monza. You've conquered our Italian double header. Who would you like to give a shout out to before we let you go tonight?
Thanks, guys. Shout out to you guys for putting on a great broadcast. I really enjoyed watching it back last week, and I feel like it's going to be really fun watching this one, seeing like at least 5 cars fight for the lead. So appreciate you guys.
There we go. Adam Merchant, our series leader, and what's more, he's done the double at the Italian doubleheader. First at Mugello last week, and now at round 2 at Monza. Adam, thanks for talking to us. We'll see you next week at Interlagos.
Thanks, guys.
There you go. Oh, where's Alex gone? Hold on. Oh, what are you doing down there, son?
I don't know. Someone moved me, possibly.
Oh, I did. I moved Adam. I thought.
Yeah.
Maybe I chucked you in there and all.
Yeah, it was a double.
Yeah, got bored. Thought, I'll do this on my own. It'll be all right. Chuck them down there.
Yeah, down there for a moment.
Yeah.
But looking back at that, two Italian tracks, both very different in characteristics, but provided stellar action, didn't they, James?
Yeah, I think that's the thing. We kind of expected it here as well. Will some people come out away from this and think, I missed some opportunities here, I've missed some opportunities there? I don't know. I think there might be a couple of people who look back at this race and think, I should have done this or should have done that. But they've got 7 days to get it sorted out because we head down to Interlagos, and I'm going to love that one.
You and me both. It's a driver's favourite, it's a commentator and a broadcast favourite. So that wraps up our coverage here for round 2 of the 2025 Sim Racing for Simpletons winter season, live here from the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza, the Temple of Speed. 7 days' time, we make our way to South America, to Brazil, to the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache in Interlagos, our third round of an 8-round calendar. And after that, we'll head to Spain. Also venture over to Canada, also a third trip back to Italy, then Austria, and the Netherlands will round out the season. This has been a JP Broadcasting Network. You've joined myself, Alex Goldschmidt, and James Parfitt. Thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe. And if you haven't done so, follow us on social media. Well, race hard, race fair. And if in doubt, you better go flat out. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Good night for now.